Hey guys, it's Rosina. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my kitchen. Now, today's video, we're going to be trying to make some homemade chewy granola bars, the chocolate chip kind. That one's my favorite. So I thought, well, maybe I'll try my hand at it. And you know, I looked at a lot of recipes because I have like so much of these old-fashioned oats because I like to make my oatmeal scotchies that you can see in another video. And a lot of recipes I've seen call for quick like oats, but I don't have that. So I was like, well, I want to find one that actually uses old-fashioned oats. So I did find one, and we're going to be using that recipe today. So I will put the link to that recipe down below in the description, and I'll just kind of, you know, show you how she does it. And if you want to find that recipe, like I said, it'll be in the description below. Now, let's get started with making these granola bars. Now, first thing I didn't do the binder first, I did toasting my oats. Now, you have to toast the old-fashioned oats because it will get kind of chewy. So we're going to toast those first. Now, as you can see here, I am pouring about 2 cups worth of old-fashioned oats. And you just want to spread it onto that sheet pan, make sure it's all nice and spread out so it can toast evenly. And then you're going to want to have your oven at 350 degrees. And then you want to have them cook for about 3 to 5 minutes, it says on the recipe. I did mine for 5 because you want it to look, you know, golden. Mine turned out, you know, slightly golden. I'd say they look kind of golden. Maybe not for you guys, but the way I'm looking at it, it looks a little golden. But you do want it golden, so make sure to really check on your oats. Don't leave like the room or anything. Obviously, it's a short amount of time, but just keep an eye on them. You don't want them to burn or anything. Just golden brown. All right, now on to our second step. We're going to be making our binder. Now, you just need these ingredients. Now, you want this over medium heat, and we're going to melt our butter. This is about 4 tablespoons worth. Now, I kind of thawed it a little bit so it could be a little easier to... We're just going to let that do its thing. Now, after you got your butter all melted in there, you're going to want to add in a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Now, make sure it's packed. So add that in there. And then you're going to want to add in a 1/3 cup of honey. Now, the honey will act like basically the actual binder because of how sticky it is. You're going to want to mix all that together until your sugar dissolves. Now we're going to let that boil, bubble for about 1 to 2 minutes. That's all you really need. That's what it says in the recipe anyway. After it does that, you want to add in a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Now that doesn't look like a lot, but it's just more to give it a little bit of flavor. So we'll add that in after 1 to 2 minutes of this doing its thing. And we're going to turn that off. Add the vanilla, mix that in, and then you want to take it off the heat and let it slightly cool before we add it to our dry ingredients. All right, now we're going to be doing our dry ingredients. Now, you're going to want all of these that you see on the screen. So we're going to start off with putting in our 2 cups of toasted oats that we put in the oven and toasted. Okay, next we have our 2 cups of crispy rice or puffy cereal. And I used Rice Krispies. But I used Rice Krispies because I thought, well, hey, maybe I'll make marshmallow, you know, Rice Krispies later. 2 cups of that. Next, the recipe calls for 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Every time I do salt, it gets stuck on the bottom of the container. I don't know why. Now we're going to mix all that up. I'm gonna do it with my hands. My hands are clean. But we're gonna mix that so they get, you know, kind of nicely distributed. There you go, some ASMR right there. Does that sound nice to anybody? I don't know. Now that those are mixed up, we're gonna put in our binder. All right, our binder has cooled slightly, so we're gonna pour that in. Now you want it slightly cooled, maybe even a little cooler, because when you put in the chocolate chips, you don't want those to melt. You want those to stay, you know, stay a little, you know, not melted. So there we go, there's our binder. Now I'm gonna use a pastry scoop spoon. I don't know what to exactly call this, but we're gonna use this to mix this up. And there we go, already getting it outside of that. You know what, maybe I can do, let's get some gloves on. Glove will be better. Since it's not too hot there. Since it's not too hot, I will use my hand to mix it up. Because yeah, since it's slightly cooled, it's not gonna burn my hands or anything. I can smell that honey. All right, now you're gonna add in a 1/4 cup of mini chocolate chips. Now, you wanna do the minis because, you know, every granola bar kind of has the minis, like especially the Quaker Oats ones, which are my favorite, like I said. So, 1/4 cup of these. Now I may add more, we'll see. Depending on how I'm feeling and how it looks, maybe I'll add more. I'm not sure, because you're not gonna use the whole bag. All right, that's all mixed. Let's put it into our pan. So after all that is mixed up, we put it in here, and then you're gonna wanna put it into the fridge to cool down for about an hour. Now here's our 8x8 that I showed you, and you wanna have parchment paper on it. It makes it easier to pull it out when you're ready to cut up your bars. And add in a little, she said to add some nonstick oil in there too, just so it's just easier. So, got our pan, got our mixture, let's put it in. Now, she said in the recipe that you wanna use parchment paper to squish this down so you don't get all like sticky and everything. I'm just gonna try with my glove, since I already have it on, and just squish it down. Because you want it to be squishy enough that when it cools in the fridge, that it's nicely packed. And I'll be honest, I'm really hoping that these turned out well, because if not, I'm gonna be a little sad. But this is my first time doing this, so hopefully it turns out well. And if it does, you guys will know. Now that this is all nice and packed, I will see you guys in an hour after cooling this down in the fridge.
1 hour later.
All right, we got our granola out after about an hour in the fridge. I just let it sit for a bit so it's not super frozen, but like, it's pretty together. So I'm gonna use a butter knife to cut these into bars. I believe I can make maybe 12 out of this if I cut correctly. So let's cut these up. Well, didn't make them all the same size, but I was able to get at least 14 out of this. So there you have it, all nice and chopped up and finished. Let's try one of these bad boys. Now, you can see it has little peaks. Really, I should have flattened these a little more, but let's try them. It's pretty good. It's already falling on the ground. Good thing my sous chef isn't in here right now. But I'd say pretty good. Maybe a little less honey, but that's just my preference. But it's pretty good though. So I'd recommend making this. It turned out pretty well, and you know, yeah. So that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys try and make this. And like I said, recipe will be down below in the description. I make new videos every Wednesday/Thursday and Saturday. And I will see you guys in the next one.